4 drink minimum, no drink
No drink
maximum.
maximum.
I like there's like I don't know if I want to like actually do this movie. I mean, we're gonna do it, but I'm like, you know that feeling.
I know
like,
you're stalling. I know you're stalling to not get started, but we're already like 40 minutes behind, and this movie is 2 hours and 18 minutes long.
So let's do it.
All right, let's do it. You guys remember that story that Broderick wanted us to tell?
About the fever?
I only heard the top level.
Okay.
That he had a 103, 109 degree fever, 100 and something, 100 and scroll up while his stall degree fever.
Let's go with 9.
Times were tough, so I sold my soul. And I don't think I'll ever regain control. Devil looked me in the eye, and I looked the other way. What else could I do? I just stared at the doorway and knew I'd rather be drunk with you. I'd rather be drunk.
All right, you guys ready?
I'm never ready in my life.
Perfect. Hey, Internet! Highway 47 here tonight. Day, night. It's day and night where we're from because we're on 2 different ends of the world at the same time tonight. I'm Shaggy B, and with me is Dracofunk. How's it going, Dracofunk?
Hey, are you somewhere else?
I'm everywhere.
Did you hit Warp 10?
I did.
Oh, crap. Oh, God.
I know. It's only a matter of time before the tail sprouts and you know the scales but you know hopefully we'll have time to watch a movie in there with our friend Vomit.
I lost track of what's going on with that last conversation.
That's fine. That's fine. Well, it's a 4 drink minimum tonight, and we are watching Godzilla, the American Godzilla.
Yes.
You know the one. Ferris Bueller Takes Manhattan tonight on the 4 drink minimum. And Dracofunk, what can you tell us about this movie?
I can tell you that
we need to back up.
We do?
We do?
Spiritually with us tonight is also Broderick.
Well, yeah, and yeah, that's true. I guess I did kind of go out of order. He was going to join us tonight. He today is the 29th of January, and he is the first among us to have gotten both doses of the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine, and it is giving him symptoms, and he is not well enough to join us for the recording. But you know that's a good sign. It means his body is responding correctly to the illness or to the vaccine. So you know he's resting and recovering, doing what he's got to do, which is where we want him to be. But we'll come back to him in a second after Dracofunk tells us something about this movie.
It came out May 20th, 1998.
Yeah.
Has an IMDb rating of 5.4.
Really?
Yeah, tied with Rebirth of Mothra too.
I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but like... Yeah, I shouldn't be too surprised that it's that low, but I am, and I'm not sure. Like, I guess I didn't think that through. Like, I know it's not good. I mean, I've seen it. I saw it in the theater. I don't know. Something in me was really surprised by that low of a number. Huh. Well, before I ask you what you were doing on May the 20th of 1998, I will mention that Broderick himself, we know what he was doing either that night or soon after, and that was he himself was super sick again. He's just, it's a tradition now. Whenever this movie comes up, he has to feel like just absolute death and be feverish. He says he saw this in a theater with 103 degree fever, and that it didn't make any sense then. So I don't expect it to now myself. I don't remember when I saw it. I think I recall being pretty excited about an American Godzilla movie and like really wanting to see it and seeing it in a theater and kind of simultaneously being impressed and disappointed. And then like buying the soundtrack because that was kind of a thing I did with movies around that time.
I'm trying to remember when I saw it. I may have seen it in the theater. I don't remember.
I know I saw it in
you
the
guys
theater.
want a bit of a you
Go
guys
ahead.
want a bit of a bombshell that you already know, but I'm going to say it in the recording.
All right,
Yeah.
hit me.
And because of this project, this is now the only Godzilla film I have never seen.
Wow. So we are in a unique position here where you are the only one here who has not seen this movie.
Yeah, I've been avoiding it most of my life. And here we are, ruining it.
All right. We sure are. Well, let me spoil something for you then before we start. I'm just going to ruin every dramatic scene with Mathew Broderick in it more than he can ruin it himself. In case the Highway 47 universe, both of you are not aware, I'm not the world's biggest Mathew Broderick fan. I think in certain roles, he's good. I think he was better when he was like a teenager. Ferris Bueller worked. The computer movie, sure. Whichever one that was. I don't remember the name of it. He had like the 8-inch floppy drive. And he was great in The Producers because he is literally Leo Bloom. Like, he is that awkward to me all the time. Like, I liked him in Producers because he was exactly the right choice. But in any other role, like anytime he has to do anything else other than be Leo Bloom or a kid, I can't stand the guy. And I saw an interview with him maybe a few months after this movie came out, where he was talking about the CG monster, because Godzilla is CG for most of this movie, I think, maybe all of it. And he talked about how whenever, like, there's a scene where they're standing in the street looking at Godzilla in terror, like, nobody told them exactly which direction Godzilla was away from them, or how big Godzilla was, or what Godzilla looked like. They just said, look up at the monster and be afraid. And so he always had to look at whoever else was in the scene and see which direction they were looking before he could look in the same direction and react. And that always takes me out of the movie whenever I see a clip of him in this, because he always does that. So there you go. Now you have that to look forward to.
By the way, the computer movie is called War Games.
War
So-
Games. I was like, it's war hammers, war mongers, like war games. That makes sense.
And by the way, that entire story you've told on Highway 47 before.
I know,
Yeah.
but I have to tell it on this movie because this is the movie where it happens.
I know,
Yeah.
that's why I didn't stop you, but
Yeah.
I feel as though because you tried to act like you were going to surprise us with a bit of information.
He's
And I
not
felt like if
surprising
I
us,
didn't
he's
say
surprising
anything-
everybody else.
Yeah.
Like, somebody else might listen to this someday, man.
Greetings, children of the future.
Greetings,
sorry.
Greetings, archaeologists from Mars in the year 75,000, when this is the only surviving piece of media left from the 21st century.
Now that you have excavated the YouTube servers and figured out how to time travel magnetism, enjoy this bullshit.
I mean, this could have been beamed out to space. This could be some sort of alien culture is like studying our recordings to, learn about humanity.
This is
I
going to
don't
be
know.
this is going to be the YouTube video randomly picked by Elon Musk to beam out to like Alpha Centauri on his satellite when he gets the internet running in space. This is going to be it. And they're going to be like, Mathew Broderick and Godzilla, what the hell?
So what are you all
Oh.
drinking tonight?
Oh yeah. I have some Redbridge here that I'm going to. I got 4 Redbridge from a 6-pack. I only have 4 left, and I figured I would start. Are you okay over there?
Oh yeah,
He's
you guys
hungry.
can hear me typing.
Yes,
Yeah.
we can.
Anyway, I figured
So much for that secret message I sent you guys.
Yes.
start tonight by doing a swig of wild turkey before I have my beer. So here I go. What are you drinking? Vomit?
Hey, you didn't cough.
Wow,
What?
it's getting real choppy over here.
Oh, what are you drinking, though?
Oh, I've got some wine, some soft rosé wine I found in the alcohol because I ran out of rum and didn't feel like going out to get anything.
Ooh. Well, we are two.
So I'm being accidentally fancy.
We are two birds getting hit with one stone right now. Then, because I'm also drinking wine, I have 2/3 of a bottle worth of Prophecy Pinot Noir from California, and it's in cans because I am an affront to God and nature. And
What
man.
about
There's a clip.
Godzilla?
No, that's Mathew Broderick,
Oh,
and it's really hard to open. Okay, there we go.
I don't think I've ever drank wine out of a can.
Well, this is really good wine. Actually, I like this a lot. It's it's wine out of a can.
Maybe I should get some wine out of a can.
It's actually like there a lot of places are selling it that way, and like if you want less than a bottle of wine, that's a good way to go.
I always want more than a bottle of wine, though.
Yeah, that's my problem. Well,
Let's do this.
let's do this. All right. So we are watching this on DVD. And
If you're watching this on Blu-ray, I'm sorry.
this runs in my mind as one of like the first titles to come out on DVD, because DVD like kind of launched in '98, if I remember right. It wouldn't surprise me. Wow, that was only one sip of that stuff. It wouldn't surprise me if like, there are a lot of people who like, in the 90s were like, I want to be on the bleeding edge of new media, and like bought this as their first ever DVD. I don't think that's the edition we have, but at any rate, whichever DVD you have, do whatever you got to do to get to the beginning of the movie. And if it's like an old DVD and the menus are weird or something, like just kind of like pause this and figure that out, and then once it's at 0, we'll count you down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And
Well, I've got my DVD ready. I'm just waiting for you to count us down.
All right. Well, I am ready, and Vomit, we assume, is ready. So here we go. This is Ferris Bueller Takes Manhattan with Godzilla, and we are starting it together in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
You were
Yeah.
talking
I had a
a bunch
car,
about
like,
all that. I was
take off.
getting my alcohol ready, and I can't get the wine open.
Oh,
I had a car take off just as soon as I hit the play button. I was really confused.
all right. Monitor off. I have a Plan B machine next to me because I was having internet issues earlier.
Oh, look. Are you seeing an airship?
I am seeing an airship
Okay.
because this is Centropolis.
Well, that looks like a better movie than the one we're actually watching.
Yeah, like way better actually.
It looks like Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow. Have you ever seen that?
No, I have not.
So even
Pride
though I haven't
film.
seen this film, I've already read the goofs on Wiki.
Excellent.
And I can tell you that the species that Godzilla evolves from does not originate from this island.
Oh, okay. Wait, you're telling me there's something scientifically wrong in a Godzilla movie?
Yeah, how about that?
So I may have seen this at the theater. I don't remember. I've
I know
only
I
seen this
did.
one time.
I think that's the only scene. Oh, Jean Reno. I forgot he was in this. Yeah, I've only seen it that one time also.
Hank Azaria is also in this.
Oh, cool. I remember a woman. Oh, God. The crocodile.
It's a Gila monster.
Kevin Dunn.
Yeah,
Kevin-
he's Kevin Dunn with this. They are marine iguanas, and they are only found on the Galapagos Islands, not in French Polynesia where we are right now.
Of course.
Well, I mean, if they'd found them in Polynesia, they would know about Godzilla.
You got a fair point, I guess.
Well, let's expand the text out, but not do it at the same rate as the other text that says the same thing. Yeah, okay.
It's dramatic, man.
That's what it is.
Yeah, we're being dramatic.
Vocal
No, I
Engel.
mean the superhero dramatic man tried to edit this movie, and he's not very good at his job.
Yeah. Dramatic man to the rescue.
Hey, it's me, dramatic man. Do your
That doesn't
credits
sound-
need some excitement?
Doesn't sound very dramatic.
He's not good at his job.
Mm.
That is true. In the modern day, recognizing these nuclear explosion videos because they're just publicly available on the internet and the history of nuclear weapons is interesting. And so I've watched all these a few times. Like,
Mhm.
I've seen all these explosions before.
Yeah.
Like, you can just go to Wikipedia and be like, "Oh, what does a mushroom cloud look like?" and watch all of these.
Is this what is it? Case Bravo?
Oh
or
yeah,
something?
that might be Trinity right there. Castle Bravo, that's what you're thinking.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh, we see the egg at the beginning of the movie. I don't remember that.
Ah, perfect hatching conditions.
Sounds like the Home Alone theme.
I was just thinking it's like some 1990 era kids movie. LOL Japan, am I right?
Yep. He's not steering the ship.
LOL Japan, am I right?
On tonight on Deadliest Catch.
So they have sonar just going off constantly?
Yeah,
Sure.
gotta keep an eye out for that tuna.
Yeah.
Reference to Godzilla raids again.
Okay. I don't remember this at all.
It's probably for the sake of healing.
Ah!
uh,
At least it opens the right way. It's been a while since we had a Godzilla movie
With
that
a
opened
boat?
with a boat.
oh, it's that guy.
Yeah, he's in like every movie about Asian people in the 80s and 90s. Ah!
He was the meat cleaver guy in Big Trouble in Little Chinatown.
Just China.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
Chinatown,
Big Trouble in
yeah.
Little China.
Did you know there is a board game for that movie?
Yes.
Did you know that there is a game store where I live that has it on the shelf that you can just go in and play it, like just free play it?
No, I did not know that.
I was probably going to surprise you with that if you visited last summer.
And then COVID.
Yeah, because I went to that store in like early February last year of 2020, about a year ago,
hmm
and like saw it and like pulled it down and like looked at the rules. I was like, this would be awesome to like spend all day playing because it's really long, and I need to get Dracofunk here to play this with me. I'll surprise him when he visits. And yeah.
What?
Oh god damn it.
I want to be a producer. I'm sure that's not significant.
Nope. So he like electrocutes earthworms to the surface.
This seems like a terrible weather condition for everything going on.
Uh-huh. Well, actually, I mean the worming maybe not, but
Mind you, this is in Chernobyl, so we've already given up on anything that has to do with safety.
Oh.
Papit? Papiti Tahiti.
Yeah.
You can tell it's tropical because he's wearing a white suit.
Isn't that the guy from like Jurassic Park?
Yeah, probably.
He's like sitting here. We got Newman here. Newman. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Wait, that's the wrong name. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Man, they made him shave his stubble like really short.
God, what else has he been in?
Oh, like everything with
Yeah, I
French
know.
people. I'm immediately thinking of the Inspector Gadget movie with Steve Martin. He's like the or not Inspector Gadget. Fucking wasn't what the hell was it?
All of this relevant and useful information in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, this isn't right. Golfo.
Why are they flying him in a old Lockheed Vega?
So they can get better establishing shots.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's real military. He said, "Damn."
Damn straight.
Yes.
Oh, how dramatic. You know, knowing that this guy, for this that he directed, was Independence Day, makes
Mhm.
all of these cuts make more sense.
Yep.
Because, like, those cuts made that movie fantastic. And hurt this one.
Yep. Oh, you can pronounce her name.
Well, her name isn't a gag.
It's not Galapagos. It's not
Catopolo.
Galapagos, which is the place they should have checked for the damn lizard. Oh no. Oh god.
That
That hurts more now than
That
usual.
that hits. That I was gonna say, yeah, that hurts more. 20 years later, that joke hurts.
24 years. 23. 23. 11 minus 8 is 3, not 4.
20 plus years later. I just round.
And around, and around, and around.
Yeah.
Very convenient of him to follow the road.
Oh, hey, the Twin Towers.
Opening a beer. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Why are we talking about it over your breasts?
Mm-hmm.
So now we get to play, is this movie new enough for him to get his comeuppance later in the movie, or old enough that it won't matter? Also, I actually remember that shot.
I mean, this movie makes it obvious already that he's going to get eaten by Godzilla or stepped on by Godzilla or something.
Yeah, that's right. I remember now.
Yeah.
Hey, Vomit, do you care if I spoil that for you?
Sure, why not?
He gets eaten by Godzilla.
Oh,
God
I
damn it.
didn't see that coming.
Everybody at home, you can just fast forward to the end.
This has been a Highway 47 production. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
I was thinking, like, they could have made it better. Like, they could have hinted like he was going to get eaten, like you'd expect.
Yeah.
And then he just gets shat on.
I think that might happen to somebody, too.
That would be better, and I hate that.
Well, you got to remember, this is soon enough after the first Jurassic Park perp that dinosaur poop is still really funny, according to movie producers.
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Perp.
Jurassic Perp.
Midget Kerp.
Armageddon.
Gawk at the ship. Yes. It's gonna bug me. What else am I thinking he was in?
He's been in like a lot of stuff.
I know.
We love Bumblebee Tuna.
I mean, he's been in a lot of like French movies.
Something Bumblebee Tuna.
Jean Reno likes Bumblebee Tuna.
Okay.
What, you don't like Godzilla flesh?
No. No, now I know where I know him from.
Oh. What's from? What's he in?
He was in Flyboys, but
Okay.
let's see what else. Mission Impossible.
Hmm.
Leon
Yeah, that
the
makes sense.
Professional.
Yes. Yep, he's in that. Which I've never seen that. But I know he's in it. Huh. So, is there anybody on Earth who doesn't know what's about to happen?
Those guys.
Yeah, like these guys didn't read the script beforehand and they don't realize they're in a Godzilla movie, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I realize now that you made the comment about this being not long after Jurassic Park,
Yeah.
I realize that, I'm going to be hard on this movie for being too predictable, but it was back in the era when these tropes were being set.
Yeah, and that is kind of the thing.
It's like people making fun of Lord of the Rings for having all of those fantasy tropes that it set in the
That
books.
it's that, yeah. Well, and that, I guess that kind of raises a question. Like, is this a genre-defining movie? Is this a genre-imitating movie? Or is this a bad crossover?
Considering that I have already made a statement of, like, this feels like he just ripped off his last movie of Independence Day, and we've been saying things that just happened in Jurassic Park, I'm going to say that this movie really defined nothing, and it's just plagiarism.
Plagiarism, the movie starring Mathew Broderick. Oh, hey!
Like,
Here's what they tried to do with this movie, and it kind of bugs me, is they wanted to do a Godzilla movie that did not feel like the cheesy Godzilla movies that we'd already seen. They wanted a serious-looking Godzilla movie, action drama, like Independence Day, like Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Like Godzilla versus Destroyer?
Yeah.
Kind of, but they wanted it to do, they didn't want it
They wanted it to be an American action film.
Yeah. They felt, I think, like they felt like the Japanese Godzilla was too campy.
I mean,
To be fair, more movies than not at this point, he's been pretty damn campy.
I know, but
and to give this movie credit, it did start the Toho "fuck you" era, where Godzilla was actually intimidating for most of the movies.
yeah, fair enough. Well, and I do kind of remember at this time the franchise was I mean, not that it isn't now, but it was really a joke at this point, right? Like, Godzilla was not known as like, oh, they're still making these weird, interesting, niche movies. It was, what the hell is this shit?
As far as I was concerned, the last Godzilla movie that I knew of when this movie came out was Terror of Mechagodzilla.
Gotcha. I have managed to get about 2 seconds behind on one of my computers by accidentally bumping the spacebar. I will fix that. They're talking, and I can't hear them for the moment, and I don't really care what they're saying. They're talking about how he's a douche, and she should stand up for herself.
Yeah. And they're using some of the harshest language that a PG film can use.
Like,
Oh, this is PG-13.
Yeah, I know.
that doesn't even allow a single in the 90s.
It's funny, because I don't give a single in 2021.
Hey!
And this Highway 47 video is officially rated R. Oh, no, wait, we censor those.
Well, oh. No, he doesn't. It's Mathew Broderick. I mean, he's not ugly, but like...
She's really just attracted to the TV, and she doesn't realize it.
I just like men who wear beanies backwards. Back when it was the 90s, and that's what a beanie was. Now a beanie is a stocking cap.
I don't get it. Why do people laugh at other people that have hobbies?
That was such a 90s thing, too. Like,
I know. Well, reel it in.
it's like a people born in the 70s thing, I think, to just like on other people's interests so hard.
Oh.
I saved for 10 years to buy that fishing pole.
Vomit, do you have any idea what's about to happen?
I mean...
It's two sharks!
I have... It's the ship from Speed 2.
Yes.
Chili Knight finally catches up with him.
Hey, you caught one. What the is that?
What is it, Vomit?
It's Godzilla with a hat on.
Ah, the special edition rare Target only Godzilla.
Yeah.
And like that, yeah, these steps feel weak. This is me complaining about the use of CGI. Like,
yep,
things just don't have the weight they should.
Well, and it's and it's early CGI where they didn't consider things like shadows, lighting.
Every 90s movies, there's always some guy listening to a Walkman, ignoring all the...
Well, this is the second guy we've had do that. Mathew Broderick did that. That's how they introduced the main character of the movie.
Yeah.
Thomas Jefferson. Oh wait. Ebert. How did I forget that Roger Ebert was in this? Even in 1998, I knew who he was. I actually specifically remember this shot, like all the cars bouncing, and being impressed that they pulled this off. You guys still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still here physically. Oh, good. The vertigo shot.
So, you want to hear something funny?
What's that?
You know who was actually mayor of New York City in 1998?
Rudy Giuliani?
Yep.
Yep.
That's not funny.
He was still mayor
I mean,
on
when it boils
9/11.
down to it, like... I hate that he's CGI, but damn, them legs, though.
Mm-hmm. No, I did always
Like-
like the design of this monster.
You could put some fishnets on that, and he could go down to the strip.
Yeah.
The boardwalk.
Boardwalk.
Destroying the boardwalk.
Boardwalk. Oh, hey, Barney. Remember Barney? LOL 90s.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, there's no reason that the news should not be available by now, and I'm not just saying that from a kid, but someone who has lived in the information age. Like, they had O.J. Simpson on every TV faster than that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Let's-
but here's the thing. There'd
Oh,
still
there it
be
is.
people saying Godzilla was a hoax.
Yeah,
That's fine, but it at least should be on TV.
9/11 was on the air within like 3 or 4 minutes, I think, if I remember right. Which this would have been,
I don't know.
a similar event, let's say.
Yeah, very similar in a similar city.
Also the same city.
Now it's going to be on the news.
I like how the tagline of this movie was "Size does matter," and he's like way shorter than the average Godzilla.
Yep. Now he's not shorter. Americans are bigger.
Oh, the scale of that is amusing. Like, you make me want to calculate what the average American size would be to make this Godzilla look this small.
There's the crotch shot.
Moisture warning. And there's
Don't
the
get
foot.
stepped on.
Footloose.
There's the
Footloose.
The foot lit from underneath somehow. Countdown to his pants joke. There it is. I do remember the. I always. Oh, go ahead.
I think I would act the same way in that situation. I can't blame him on that one.
Oh yeah, sure. I always did like the nice touch of his tail like dragging through the windows of buildings as he went by. That was always a cool touch.
I'm not going to, this movie did something nice. And up until now, it's really, I mean, I can't complain too much about it.
Has that ever been done before? I don't know. In the last 7 movies this guy's directed? I don't know if you guys knew this, but Ronald Emmerich has a obsession with destroying New York.
I mean, it worked for Tokyo.
Oh, I mean, no, like
It worked for Al Qaeda. I'm sorry.
like he has admitted it. Like that is actually. He's admitted it in interviews. Like, he got a parking ticket in New York one time, and he got so mad that he's devoted so many movies to destroying New York. And Independence Day, Godzilla, Day After Tomorrow, 2012.
Kind of makes sense that Day After Tomorrow was him too.
Oh, it's Homer Simpson.
Yeah.
Cool. And Spartacus. Was Jean Reno in not La Cage aux Folles, in the Birdcage? I probably think he should be because it's a remake of a French movie. But I know Hank Azaria was.
You know what year that came out?
The Birdcage?
Yes.
No. I mean, if only I had a device near me, like one of 3 PCs or a smartphone that could look this up.
I had to scroll up because I couldn't remember Ronald Emmerich's first name.
Birdcage was 1996.
Then no. No, he was not.
Okay.
He was busy doing Mission Impossible.
Gotcha.
I'm on my second beer.
I have finished my first half of my wine.
That shot was cooler in '98 than it was after 2001.
Yes, it was. Look at those disposable cars.
Look at all those disposable people.
Oh.
So the funny thing was, this came out May 20th, 98, right?
Yeah.
I would have just been through New York about a month and a half before this.
Let's see. I would have. Gosh. Uh, would I have, I think I would have just gotten back from DC.
How did he get through that building without destroying the bottom level? Like, he had to get a running start.
Yeah.
Because
This is me thinking of the 70s Godzilla who would do that to look cool.
Well, buildings in New York don't need all their support columns to stay intact in order for them to stay upright. That's why the World Trade Center is so strong and resistant to attacks.
All right. Until you made the terrible joke, I was going to make a comment about you using science in a Godzilla movie.
Man, Roger Ebert reminds me of Jim Justice, governor of West Virginia, in this movie. Except Roger Ebert can walk, and he doesn't have to be in a chair all the time because he's not that horribly unhealthy.
But does he follow the fucking guidelines?
I don't know. It's the 90s and hot girls like shoplifting.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Busy laughing around the song playing in the background.
That's the Puff Daddy cover. Don't you remember Puff Daddy, he sampled that and made a rap song?
I choose to not remember anything from the 90s.
Oh, you're going to hear it, though. They feature it later.
Oh, boy.
Oh, hey, the FBI surveillance fan. That's where my Wi-Fi is from.
Oh, man. So French.
I know.
French people are snobbish. I know which building. I remember now.
It's the Council of Dick Bags.
That's the wrong decade. Fast forward 10 years.
The only tune I could think of that would work for the Council of Dickheads.
Mhm.
Everyone, fall down these stairs.
Do they teach you how to march downstairs in basic? Any veterans who are listening to this, I'm kind of legitimately curious. Is there like a military drill for like how to march downstairs?
Yep.
Yep. How many Masons are there in New York City?
None right now.
Love and a family.
That's the sequel that didn't happen.
I
I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
I wish you were.
Ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum,
Shouldn't I be
ba-ba-bum,
playing like with all the
ba-bum,
helicopters
ba-bum.
like Wagner?
Well, at least they aren't stock footage helicopters.
That's a good point. I haven't seen the only stock footage I've seen so far has been the nuclear tests.
Yeah, you really can't recreate those very well. People get kind of angry.
Not with 90s technology now. That sounded like a shot.
No, that was just more beer.
Snare drum. It's the military. Oh, hey, I had a TV that did that purple thing.
Oh,
Do
they're
you
French.
good, Daddy? Oh. Yeah, stay at the tell. For a ite. Get a good night's eep. Oh, finally, somebody thought of subtitles.
He's French. He's got. I hate the American.
Wow. Wow. That was some unexpectedly 90s going on right there.
Yeah, really. Nope.
Nope. Yeah.
Was that Siskel? I'll bet that was Siskel. Carp. How much French are Americans gonna know, Steve? Well, I don't know. I think we could say like really weird, but not like, yeah, we don't want to push it. We don't want the reply. Like, they're not going to know how to answer, right? Yeah, I think that's about right. Okay, so it's really weird. Put that in French, but okay, and then put the rest in English. Yeah, put the rest in English. Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be great. Everybody will get it. It'll totally scan. Oh yeah, okay, here we go.
Script by Rodan.
And Mathew
Character
Broderick.
we have an assignment with Mathew Broderick. The team up we never knew we wanted because we didn't.
That's
Ferris Bueller versus Godzilla.
that's exactly what this movie is. Uh-oh. Somebody's letting loose the extreme vapors.
Oh yeah, it's the 90s, so
So
the X
green
would be
pump.
capitalized.
Yep. I tried to buy some Surge for this tonight, but I couldn't find it for sale in one store because it's COVID-19 and I didn't want to go into more than one store.
That's
I
funny
also
because
want-
I'm drinking wine tonight because I didn't want to go into a store.
Yeah. I also wanted to buy some Zima because they're also remaking that, but they didn't have that either. So
My roommate used to drink Zima.
Zima was the second sip of alcoholic beverage I ever had in my life, actually. The first was regular Budweiser. But I just was curious about how it tasted, so I had a sip.
Don't stand there. Don't stand there.
Oh, someone in the sewer just had chili.
Ooh.
Oh, Vertigo shot again.
Another Vertigo shot, yeah. That one was better done than the first one.
That one would lasted longer. Like the
Yeah.
other one got cut off. Like it was like they decided that the shot was too long in editing.
I didn't even notice it the first one. When you said it, I hadn't even noticed the shot. But that one I noticed.
Cliche where the ground splits right between his legs.
Yep. Do most of the CGI after dark so nobody notices we don't know how to do lighting yet.
Godzilla have pecs.
He totally does.
It's not like that's a new thing. I mean, he had pecs through the 80s and 90s. That mouth looks so dumb.
Disposable camera.
Yeah. Oh, wait. You can't turn... Oh, hey, there's a hot. We had a tell earlier, now we have a hot. Dinosaurs can't see you unless you move, because I've seen Jurassic Park, right? Yeah. Composer's like, I don't want to write da 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 da. Don't open your mouth. Fish. Is he fucking following the guidelines? Can I open the rest of my alcohol yet? No, we're not even anywhere near halfway through. Oh,
No.
man. No, I should have got more. Did you notice that, like, steel beam fall on that guy's head and him not even flinch?
Mm-hmm.
So what was the plan once they get him here?
They should like fire Cadbury cream eggs into his mouth.
Oh, God, look at that. Terrible motion effects on the pile of fish.
I mean, I'm not going to diss the terrible effects for the time. Aside from the things that would have been dead, looked better in practical. And that one, I don't think they could have done very well in practical either.
Yeah,
Like
they could
the- Yeah, I guess you're right. They could have. I think this was their plan.
Right.
Godzilla has 2 voice actors in this movie, and one of them is Frank Welker.
Oh, cool.
You may know him as Scooby-Doo. He was Freddy longer than he was Scooby-Doo, but still. It's funnier to think of Scooby-Doo doing this.
Yeah, really. Royks. Well, you've just set the tone for the rest of the movie, Vomit.
We could also throw in that he was Nibbler from Futurama and make it weirder.
Oh, wow.
And Megatron.
Okay, that's pretty cool fire breath. Gotta hand it to him there.
This is the guy that did Independence Day. He had practice on that.
True. You got it, T-Bone.
I'm getting a real, like...
X-Wing versus TIE Fighter vibe.
Well, I was going to say more like Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
Oh. This would be a great video game on the PlayStation 2.
I was kind of thinking like San Francisco Rush.
Oops.
Not the Chrysler Building.
No.
That's one of the 3 most iconic buildings in New York. And the other 2 will stay up forever.
Why? Why?
Phone charge at 95%.
I forgot to unplug my phone.
You
Sweet.
forgot to unplug your phone. I forgot to plug in my phone.
I don't.
I don't have a phone.
My battery is at 59%. I'm good. That'll last me another 2 days.
Yeah, mine's at 16, so...
Oh, yeah.
I've just realized the scene that right here is parodied in a later Godzilla movie.
Sweet.
The guns for... Okay, I guess they could have gun pods on the side.
Just slaughtering like thousands of people in their apartments right now. Just indiscriminately murdering.
What are you talking about? The
citizens.
city's evacuated.
Oh, right.
Those random lights that are on, those are just lights that are on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because everybody obeys evacuation orders.
Yeah. The government knows what's best, so everyone listens to them when they think those are safety.
And they
I
absolutely
couldn't
go
even
back.
get that statement out.
And they absolutely go back and make sure that everybody's okay, even the poor people and the blacks. Drink time.
I just finished a beer.
That's a good idea. Can't help but thinking I really wish it wasn't raining in this movie.
Do you think they got him vomit?
I'm not even going to justify that with an answer.
Nice. Hang on.
Up, go higher, higher.
I just appreciate that his code name is Snooze.
Yeah. Go up. You're not going to outmaneuver him.
That's what I said. A lot.
Yeah. You
I
didn't
don't
lose
think you lost him.
him.
Kind of want some candy.
Oh, I love this building so much.
building! I'm sorry, what?
We went for the same joke, that's all.
Okay.
I must hump this building.
We humped this building.
This technically counts as blood. So I think they cast that sergeant specifically to be more awkward than Mathew Broderick.
That has to be the weirdest casting call ever.
Can you be more awkward than Mathew Broderick?
You're hired.
I can. And scene. That was really insensitive, and I'm like kind of sorry, but it's exactly what happened.
What?
Look at this evacuated woman.
On my pregnancy test. In the city that was evacuated. You guys still here?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm trying to.
I can't even justify this with comedy.
My brain is trying to dissociate from the reality of watching Mathew Broderick meet an old flame while buying pregnancy tests at a corner store that are intended to track fucking Godzilla. And I'm having to force myself to stay in reality and not just like enclose myself into a happy place that's apart from that. And I apologize that I didn't respond while I was doing that.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'll just keep drinking. It'll be fine.
You can go get a hot dog from that hot dog cart in the city that was evacuated.
Yeah,
Because isn't the point they're in the exclusion zone? You know,
10
that's
years?
why she had to 8 years.
8 years. 8 years ago, she was like 12, okay?
He's going to make her a cup of tea.
Out of the pregnancy.
Science tea.
To be fair...
I think Scradrick had that shirt.
Yes, but if we were stuck in an exclusion zone, if it was the three of us, and I said, vomit, I need some coffee, I think you could probably make that happen.
I would have coffee.
That's a good point. You would have coffee.
There's no way I would get into this situation without coffee.
That's a really good point.
See?
And I would be like, F it, it's almost a drug. He's a girl. A he like me.
Science finds a way.
Mm-hmm.
She's throwing herself at you, Mathew Broderick, and you didn't notice.
See, that's
That's exactly what I'd expect out of him, but yes.
I mean, I'm not going to say that I've ever been in that position.
I've been. Yeah, millions of times for me, honestly.
Yeah, like 6
Yeah,
months
I've
later.
also been in situations where I'm throwing lizard piss on a pregnancy test while a woman is hitting on me.
That was college for me. Steal his money.
Oh. See, well, I know it's supposed to be sweet. That's kind of creepy.
It's kind of really creepy. It's been 8 years.
Are you suggesting something about the photos of random people that I still have hung up in houses that I no longer live in?
You sneak into their old houses and put their photos back up.
Yeah.
Because you're nostalgic for hanging out at their place. That's less weird than this is, actually. Hey, the title sequence.
And the house I lived in 2010, 2011. We were checking out the attic of the place looking for storage, and we found some random woman's photo. And, like, this photo has followed me everywhere. I have no idea who this person is, but, like, the photo somehow always ends up packed and in my new house.
Awesome.
I've always wanted to get a whole bunch of those, like, so they're supposed to be, like, family portraits where they're in a frame and you can put, like, 5 or 6 pictures in it.
Oh, yeah.
So next time you go to the thrift store and you see, like, some of those, just get me, like, 5 of them.
Okay.
I'll pick some up and just put different era Godzilla photos in them.
Yes. See, I've got one up in my living room, actually.
I wouldn't care if you did that. If you did that, that would be awesome.
I would hang it in my room and you would never be allowed to touch it.
I like the 90s style photos where there's like the shot of somebody sitting in a chair from a distance, and then like half opaque, like right up close to the frame is like the 45-degree angle of them with like the straight face, like the serial killer face, like really close to the camera, and then them farther away. I always like those.
We need the picture of you like that. Nothing down here. Nope, nothing at all.
Nope. Beer.
I stole it.
Yeah.
Man, I just remembered that we should be saying something.
I wish they'd hired an
movie's
actress.
too dumb.
It just f***ing sucks. Fraternity.
You know, if this was like,
Liberté.
if this took place on like a global scale, and like there were aliens, and like better actors, maybe this would be better.
Yeah. Do you remember like the Transformers movies?
Yeah.
I
see,
tried not
I remember
to.
like the first one, and then they got stupid.
See, that's
I
funny.
didn't like the first one.
That's funny because I've seen like 3 of them, and I don't remember a damn thing that happened in any of them. And,
Explosions.
Yeah. And a Camaro. And Megan Fox. And that's all
Yeah,
I remember from
one
literally three of them.
One of them had Megan Fox cleaning a motorcycle while the camera stared at her ass.
Yeah.
I don't even remember which one. I just remember that scene, and not because it turned me on, but because I was like, this is too, like, deliberate. I can't deal with it.
Well, you know what I remember from that scene, actually, is not, like you said, it didn't do anything for me that way. But I remember watching it and thinking, this is weirdly like the scene where Steven Tyler is singing about his own daughter getting laid in Armageddon.
Her young. I mean,
They've just agreed that it's a him.
Yep.
Sure.
Hey, man, listen. Not all men have penises.
Not all men are like 80-foot tall radioactive lizards either, but
That's
this
right.
one.
Some men
I mean, we've had a crotch shot. I didn't see a dangle bit.
I didn't see an itty bit either.
Right. So clearly, Godzilla has a cloaca.
Yeah. He dubbed himself over. Nice.
That dick.
I do.
Where did he go? Where did he come from? Cotton Eye Joe.
I'd have been married 40 years ago if it hadn't been for that. Cotton Eye Joe.
I wasn't sure if you were going to say Cotton Eye Joe or Godzilla there, and it would have been funny either way.
Yeah, you should have been saying Godzilla Eye Joe.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my Godzilla!
Well, he didn't want to be there in the first place, so why does he care?
Will you fly me back to Russia, please?
Yeah, really. Like, earthworms sound pretty nice right now, if I'm honest.
French out.
Ut. Why should he care? He got abducted. Why do you care?
I mean, he might still be a decent human being.
Yeah.
I guess, but like...
He's not Mathew Broderick.
Mathew, there's nothing like... I don't have any like personal problem with the guy. I just don't think he's a good actor.
Fair enough.
Like, you know...
Okay, you know what? He's the kind of actor who is... He's good at acting as himself.
Yeah, and it's just that, like, his normal self is not suited for this role. Or most of the roles he's had, except for Ferris Bueller, the kid from War Games, and Leo Bloom. That's all he should do, is that. And he's too old to do the kid stuff. Like, if I had a chance to meet Mathew Broderick and, like, you know, have a coffee with him, I would be honored, and I'd be pleased to have a conversation with the guy. I'm sure he's a wonderful person. I just don't like his work.
Would you have French roast?
Sure, man. I don't like him in this movie or any movie between like 1980, whatever the Ferris Bueller and the producers. That's all I'm saying. I'm not a Mathew Broderick, wave the flag, card carrying fan club member.
Those exist?
God damn it. He just did it's bullshit again. I don't know if they exist.
Is there a Mathew Broderick fan club?
If you'd like to help us start the Highway 47 Mathew Broderick fan club, email us at highway47productions@gmail.com.
Or don't.
The Mathew Broderick Change My Opinion fan club.
Okay, that one's fair.
Yeah.
There you go.
Did you send a link to the Mathew Broderick fan club?
Yep.
Well.
Looks like it's time for that extra drink.
All right. If we get 50 likes on this video, I will join the Mathew Broderick fan club.
If we get 50 views on this video,
then Vomit will join the Mathew Broderick fan club.
If
Oh,
I
no,
get
I will
50
not.
crockpot recipes, I'll join the
In
Mathew
general?
Broderick.
See, like all these pictures are of him.
No. If I get 50 emails of crockpot recipes,
You'll join.
mm-hmm. Yeah, you're Leon the Professional.
Aren't you the inspector from that Steve Martin movie? What now? It worked fine for the other guys. You trusted them. They hijacked you.
You know.
Ba-beep-bow. He was there, guys. Actually, assault weapons were illegal in '98 for you to buy.
I mean, this is America. You can buy anything.
True.
The joke works.
True. And sometimes my country is in New York. I didn't see a door. Yeah. Yeah.
Got nothing better to do.
Yeah. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Bienvenue.
French words. Pomme de terre.
Flambé.
Look at all these evacuated people.
Friendly neighborhood crack house. Hey, Jalodra break. Right back. Keep going. Hold the fort, vomit.
Oh. Vomit holds the fort.
Right back.
Vomit's all alone. He has plenty of reason to panic. You've become an actress in this movie. Look at all of this scene. So much Godzilla action. This is what the movie is really about. Godzilla, the title character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get it. They took away their cigarettes and gave them chewing gum because they want to be Americans and not French. French people don't know how to drive stick shifts because they only have stick shifts in your what?
Yeah.
The sign was on backwards, so they flew the spaceship backwards.
Why didn't the Japanese bring over the Super X?
Because Japan doesn't care about. Well, no, Japan cares about New York, but America doesn't need any of their damn help.
Oh.
Also,
Are we? Never mind.
we sure are.
I was gonna spoil later movies.
Mm.
Nah, only spoil this one.
He's a strong, independent woman, and he don't need no man.
That's right. So I tried to buy GameStop stock yesterday.
Game stonks.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't because of the
It's not any worse than my Elvis. Yes, it was.
No.
Oh, hey, look at the lighting. It's perfect.
Great. Terrific. Fantastic.
How are you? We're fine. Everything's fine here now. How are you?
We're gonna send somebody down.
Negative.
I'm a meat popsicle.
What is that from?
You guys, and Fifth Element.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Kind of want some teriyaki now.
We should watch Fifth Element. We really should.
We should. I've never seen it.
You've never seen it?
Well,
Why does this surprise you?
I'll have to figure out if we own a copy.
I do.
Okay.
Hey, Dracofunk, leave it all in, but replace it with me going for like the whole time.
See, whenever that happens,
Hey, Dracofunk, just beat part of him doing that.
Oh, hey, Godzilla. Remember that thing?
oh
yeah. Yeah, we're sounding closer to Godzilla now.
You need to be in the tunnel, I guess.
It's the bass reverb.
What? Oh.
it's all about that bass, man.
Should have pulled your hair back. It didn't kill me last time.
So how are they going to reconcile this Godzilla with the other Godzilla?
You'll just have to wait and see.
Oh, I mean, we've dropped off the concept of continuity.
Reality is a lie, Dracofunk.
They do make a reference to this Godzilla in a later Godzilla movie, not the one he appears in.
Oh, good.
Oh, I just finished my alcohol, and most of the alcohol in that thing of alcohol was at the bottom of that thing of alcohol. Oh.
Alcohol?
Mm-hmm.
Combat positions. Everybody combat positions.
Everybody assume the combat position.
I'm not assuming any position. I'm fine where I'm at.
You need to go back to the living room.
Why? You're in here. I can be here if I want to.
Leave me alone. You're always up in my space.
Well, it's our space. We're both here. Like, it's not. You don't own it any more than I do. In fact, I own it more than you. So, have you noticed how boring the soundtrack is up till now? Because I bought this on CD in 1998, and I spent like $20 on it. And that's $20 I don't have now. And that was a mistake.
Do you want to know what soundtrack I bought instead?
What's that? Than this. I also bought that. And that one I actually listened to all the way through several times because it wasn't nearly as bad as this. In fact, I think I still have that one.
I wonder if I still have it.
He kind of sounds like God from Star Trek V.
It's Godzilla
From Star Trek V.
What does God Zilla, need with the starship.
Needs all the fish. Hey guys.
Scotty, beam up all the fish.
Yeah.
Captain, there'll be whales in here.
I said fish only, Mr. Scott. That's too many helicopters. They're going to crash into each other.
But if they played the flight of the bumblebee in that scene, it would have been fantastic.
True. So many casualties. What?
Okay, I'm sorry I made the comment about the building earlier that he had to jump through.
Hold on, Navy? That new character? Navy? What?
The Navy.
Yeah.
That guy
Navy man was just sitting there waiting the whole time with his
New person?
jetpacks.
wasn't even... Hold on. USS Utah? Question mark?
The Navy is always there, behind you, waiting.
That guy's in this movie because people have heard of Colin Powell.
The hunt for Red October.
This is more like the hunt for Green May.
Haha. I get it. Gonna miss. Oh.
Hit a building. Fly out of the water and hit a building. The only way to make this work.
Love the toilet paper roll hanging from the console there. This guy knows some maneuvers.
Rolling?
Just like Han Solo.
Torpedoes are going to hit each other, aren't they?
You know, there's some really good lighting under the water, for
Yeah, really.
all things considered.
Torpedoes. Get your last gulp of air. It'll be your last one ever.
In the Navy!
Everyone will f***ing drown in the Navy. Fill your pants right up with brown in the Navy.
With Brown.
Yeah.
Shoot all of the tubes. Ow.
How quickly can you tunnel? Sure.
Let's celebrate now, because clearly everything has worked.
Yeah.
It's like the time they used nukes on the aliens' starship.
Yeah.
Destroyed, you say?
Yeah, the last 51 minutes of this movie, you know, is about like how they have to like clean up a Godzilla corpse.
Oh god, there's still 51 minutes? Oh.
Godzilla.
Yep. Madison Square Garden. I can tell by the roof.
Ah, fish dunk.
Yep. No
I'm happy
more
to
us.
think that somebody built animatronic fish.
I am happier to think that they made Matthew Broderick climb through a mountain of dying fish. Ew, this smells so weird.
When you act Matthew Broderick like that, I feel like he'd be a great alternate reality Kirk.
You know?
That's kind of true.
With, like, Gilbert Gottfried as Spock. Highly illogical, Captain!
Rodney Dangerfield as Scotty. Danny DeVito as Uhura.
Jimmy Durante is Bones. He's dead, Jim. Ah-cha-cha-cha.
Jackie Chan as Sulu.
No, Sean Connery.
No, Sean Connery is going to be Chekhov.
No.
I'm a Russian.
Chekhov would have to be like Dave Chappelle. Man, I would. Oh.
So we need to spend the entire Highway 47 budget on commissioning fan art now.
I cannot tell you how much I would pay for a ticket to this movie. Like,
That would be the thing that makes you break COVID regulations to go see a movie in a theater.
you know, if that's the last thing I ever saw,
This movie is worth dying for.
it would be, I think. Oh my god.
Like, the only way... there's nothing... Like, if they try to take themselves seriously, it'll be funny. And if they try to make a joke out of it, it'll be so terrible it'll be funny.
Hey, Captain, the warp engines are offline. Ugh. I don't need your excuses, Mr. Scott. I need us to go now. Please work harder and get them done. You have 2 minutes. 2 minutes, he says. No respect. The Klingons are closing, Captain!
The rest of this
Greatest
commentary is us
fucking-
laughing.
Oh no. Evasive action, please. Turning hard to port. Cha-cha-cha. Oh wait, we're watching Godzilla, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's Gadzuki.
Oh.
Now it's just the raptors from Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
I don't care what you say. That's
It's
all this.
that's all this is.
Jiggle legs. Jiggle legs.
Have you seen Jurassic?
Soon
You've
it
seen
will
Jurassic
be
Park.
Christmas
Oh, yeah.
Day.
Vomit, you've seen Jurassic Park, right?
Yes. It's a movie that I choose not to watch again so that it doesn't get ruined for me.
It actually holds up fairly well. Not perfectly, but fairly well. She's British, isn't she? That actress. The actress is totally British. No, she's American. Okay.
Huh.
Escape from a Pile of Babies, the movie.
Yeah. It's like a wacky 60s psychedelic font and just like have it the letters move in different directions and too many velociraptors.
You can make
Oh,
that
no,
happening
our
in
nemesis-
happening.
Happening.
You can make that happen in editing, can't you, Dracofunk?
I could.
I mean, I don't think you would, but you could make it happen, right?
Yeah.
Tasty bombs. We are the, how do you say, food?
We are le fou.
How come we have to watch the French die, but not the Americans?
Because they're French. We're not supposed to care about them as much.
Oh, right.
Because they have more baguette-ish bones.
Man. So many backwards hats.
Whoa.
Amount of alcohol.
Oh. Gonna finish this beer now.
Yeah.
Okay, gonna almost finish this beer.
Oh, Channel 13 is vastly inferior to Channel 12. Did I say Chapter 13?
I don't know.
You said channel,
hey.
but
It's the tunnel from Independence Day. Remember Independence Day where there was the tunnel?
That was in Los Angeles.
Oh. Yeah, don't let that stop you. Let everybody back in. Like, there's no danger. Like, you know, people don't want their daily lives interrupted by this thing. It's a liberal conspiracy. Just let people back to their daily lives. Open up the schools. Like, just, you know, it's just the flu. Wait, we're watching Godzilla, right?
Yeah.
you guys are. I'd spaced out for a minute there during your rant.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, it's like my child's school is going back
Yup.
to full in person 5 days a week next week.
Yup.
That's the call I got tonight. The call I got last night was that there was another COVID case in the school.
Yup.
That was the third call this week.
Just, you know, it's fine. If only the poor people die, it's fine. You're on Sprint. That's what's wrong. Hey, yo.
You should call them 1-800-COLLECT.
That's right. Take your quarter and go. Take your quarter. Take your fucking.
He took his quarter.
I didn't see him taking the quarter.
He leaned forward to take the quarter. They didn't make a big deal out of it.
It worked in Jurassic Park.
And then I'll leave and you can stay. Okay, that just sounds like a walrus. One more time.
Goo goo goo.
There we go.
There we go.
I don't remember anywhere near this much of the movie having taken place in Madison Square Garden. I remember, like...
I just remember thinking that this was too much like the end of Jurassic Park with the raptors.
Yep.
I've been spending all of this time thinking, man, this is the most detailed the inside of Godzilla's mouth has ever been.
This is the most I've ever seen in Madison Square Garden. And I've watched, like, most WrestleManias.
It's well known that newborns are fantastic at hunting.
Absolutely. Well, when they just stand there and, like, gawk at you and then make huge noises to let you know where they're at.
Supplies!
So look at him jog. Bam, 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 bam.
Oh no, they learned how to use the doors.
Oh no, they learned how to push open a crash bar.
I was going to say, that's a lot less impressive when it's a push-open door.
Run stupidly the other way.
Oh yeah, these guys were over here. Oh yeah, those guys were over there. Oh yeah, these guys were over here.
Clever girl.
God damn it. Fucking elevator.
That was just a straight up baby noise.
Punch in the nose. Punch in the nose. Close enough.
Finally, you're in the safest place you could be.
Actually, yeah. Like, I'm imagining, and I probably witnessed, I'm imagining the whole theater erupting in laughter at that joke. Because we were so, like, understimulated by how stupid and boring this movie is.
I don't know, this seems pretty on par for 90s movies.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what I've said for years, like 97 to like...
Okay, let's put this in perspective.
In perspective?
All
right. Sorry, keep going.
Austin Powers 2.
Better movie than this.
Yeah, but it was just literally full of...
The same joke as Austin Powers 1?
Except more.
Yeah. The internet!
All we have to do is film a porno right here.
We can hack it. Or... Yeah.
We'll call it Debbie does 17 Godzilla babies.
Get your camera.
That'll hold them for a little bit, right?
For like 8 or 12 seconds. And internet! I knew it!
And just one internet.
Just one internet?
It's on an internet.
This is a Unix system. I know this.
I was looking away. So if it was actually there was actually a Unix system there, I missed it.
I didn't look.
I didn't look either. I literally had my eyes closed.
None of us care at all what's going on anymore. This movie is stupid and
I
terrible.
mean, I get excited when I see Linux systems in movies because I want to see what terrible software they're actually running.
Well, there's email and potato chips now, so.
Oh yeah.
God damn it. Finally, the time has come to return our homes and go back to normal life. There's no problems and nobody needs to worry.
But awkwardly. Don't do it.
There's a bunch of Godzillas nearby.
Those were like 7 feet tall.
Eh.
7 and 9 foot tall.
The media is already lying.
One person's passed out on heroin, probably overdosing. Oh, no, they woke up. Never mind. They're like tribbles.
Yeah, thanks for stealing my work, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I really wish you just said that on air.
bitch.
WIDGF News.
Sorry, I noticed something shiny on the wall for a while they were talking.
She looked at him. Hey, want to do it in the back room?
You win. Military says you've got less than 6 minutes. Get out. Okay, there's 30 minutes left of the movie. Yeah, how do you do that? Oh, France. Okay. Oh, hey, airplanes.
F-18s.
Yeah.
It's the Super X 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Coming in hot with those cadmium cream eggs.
Oh, fish.
You need to run. No, run. Don't go oop doop 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 doop.
I'm gonna erpy derp my way out of this building.
Look at him. Harp, 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 harp.
I'm harping and darping as fast as I can.
Damn it.
Okay, the slide was a nice effect. Made them look like
Sorry.
they had some form of mass.
I was distracted by Mathew Broderick being a fucking dipshit.
Distract them with basketballs and gumballs. Everyone knows that Godzilla is weak to balls.
Dinosaurs don't understand spheres. We all know this. Run before they catch you. Okay. Hey guys, look out for those towers. Don't go that way.
Hi, guys.
Swatch. Remember Josta? I remember Josta.
I choose not to remember anything whatsoever at all, ever.
I don't blame you.
Oh.
And then the Tyrannosaurus Rex comes in and... Ah, guns. They really do save lives.
Yeah. Remember, kids, guns don't kill people. Godzilla does.
That's extra funny considering how many people died to guns in this movie.
That's true. Way more
Yeah,
than
missiles.
Godzilla. We've literally hit the broadside of a barn. Over.
I mean, that's
Oh.
their best shooting this entire movie.
Yeah, that fire next to the gas tank might be a thing you want to go away from, but I mean,
It's fine.
you know, Mathew Broderick knows best. He's a scientist. Scientists know.
Leave him alone. He knows what he's doing.
He can electrocute worms.
You should never start a fire with gasoline. It's just basic safety.
It's fine as long as you know what you're doing and are careful.
God damn it! Why does Mathew Broderick have to get?
He's allowed to kiss girls he likes.
I just don't like the guy. The guy's. God damn it! Shut up.
You shut up.
Fine. Took this movie for the Rodan brothers to come to a truce.
And the movie's over, and everybody lives happily ever after.
Nope. Still more of this. literally killed all of my children. And this one was my favorite.
And my grandchildren, technically, because they were all born pregnant.
Everybody run like you're serious, except for Mathew Broderick run like a clown.
Women, am I right?
I know, right? Wait, how did she... Okay. And they cut to the wide shot, and Godzilla just extended his neck out to like 50 times the length of his body.
Of course.
That would only be funny if he stood straight up afterwards with his neck still extended.
Just accordion necked his way into it. General Motors ignition switch is very, very, very vulnerable.
Easily threatened by knives.
I remember a late night TV sketch where they replayed that clip of him jumping over Godzilla's toe like 18 times and then just dubbed over different scenes in the car happening over and over. Must have been a Conan sketch. New York traffic, am I right?
Yeah. Must go faster, must go faster. Oh, wait, wrong movie.
Same goddamn movie.
It is.
Have they discussed where they're going?
Found him.
Found him.
No.
Because I know that guy. What?
What?
Huh?
Are you sure?
Motherfucker, we got like 18 more minutes of this movie and he's still not dead?
We're not going to have time to stand around stoically and opine about the folly of man and his pursuit of nuclear weapons. This is make me remember how much I like Chevy Caprices from the 90s. I mean, they were kind of ugly, but they were tough. Okay. So he threw the placard for the driver out the window to the military guy, so that the military guy would find their radio frequency.
So he could chase them.
So he could chase them. Because that's the easiest way for them to find literal Godzilla. Am I reading this correctly?
That's not the worst movie concept. Don't worry. Pretty soon Godzilla will grow extra wings and be able to fly underwater to fight Nut Hydra.
Dracofunk? Dracofunk! Dracofunk! Oh, shit, we lost him. Dracofunk's gone.
I'm here.
Okay.
Oh, you're back. Okay. Did you fall asleep?
No, I just had to step out for a minute.
Okay. Yeah, it's a Chevy Caprice, yeah. They have high beams.
It did.
Oh, hey, Brooklyn Bridge.
Brooklyn Bridge.
Brooklyn Bridge?
That's the one. Nice. I've always loved you, Jean Reno.
Thank you,
think they're-
exposition.
You think they're in his mouth?
Ooh.
Yeah, that would hurt.
Whee!
Oh god, this frame didn't even
Smooth.
flex.
That looks terrible.
Yep.
Like, by even then standards.
Mm-hmm.
That looks almost John Gary 2001-ish.
I was about to say, this is a suspension bridge, isn't it?
Yeah, we're all in suspense right now.
I'm not.
Too bad they don't have like.
I don't know. If
jetpacks.
they actually killed him off, that would have made this movie better.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that like he should die. I mean like
It would have
that
been
twist
over.
would have got people talking.
Oh, true.
Like-
Oh, good. You accidentally created a net.
Doing it now.
I like to believe that the Jets were just like hanging out right over there. Like, I gotta wait till the random scientist says do it now. That was the same engaged from Independence Day.
It was. Since a Caprice, so right. And how? What?
Science!
Huh?
Science! Like Newton's law of bullshit.
Oh, right. Forgot about that one. You have like the whole Navy. Like, why do you have only 3 F-18s? No other fighter planes within range of New York, huh?
No. They're the only fighter planes in the whole system.
It's the only starship in the quadrant.
We literally sent everybody to the Delta Quadrant.
Car. Dying breath, he smashes the car that had pissed him off for the past 10 minutes. Vive la France!
I kind of wish he would have like La France like grenades to himself and jumped in Godzilla's mouth, and that's how he was done in. Kamikaze Frenchman would have made that better.
Would have.
Love, love, love.
I killed Godzilla. Can we bang again? Oh, good. All the evacuees are back.
Liberal hoax.
Hey, remember when Godzilla was defeated earlier and then defeated again earlier?
This time we have a body.
You haven't noticed he's missing until now?
No, she's been running a
She's
crack
been hanging
house.
out with the heroin.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's not
I was
Colin
hoping he'd lean in
Powell.
and kiss him.
Oh God, they called Rudy Giuliani like straight up. I get it. I get it.
You do?
Siskel and Ebert, thumbs up, down, thumbs down.
Yeah.
Siskel literally gave a thumbs down to this movie during the movie, in the movie, as a character in the movie.
That's the most meta thing has ever happened in a movie.
And it's the best part of this movie. It got the biggest laugh out of Dracofunk. Out of anything else that's happened. Now I work for him.
Yeah. He doesn't
But I don't-
pay me.
But I don't have a company. Damn it.
Sorry. Oh, cut that out.
Love when a plan comes together. We will make beautiful love together when I come back to New York. Well,
Kinda
what?
makes
Goodbye.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. There's still 10 minutes left.
Well, 8 of them are going to be the reveal of the last egg in Madison Square Garden. And I'm sorry to spoil that, but did you not expect that to happen?
Yeah, these movies were supposed to run until 2005 when Toho was going to pick up Godzilla again in Japan.
Yep.
You know what they should have done?
Not made
What
this.
what would have been more awesome?
Cast anybody except Mathew Broderick.
Listen to me. Like, they needed Steve Martin to play himself in the movie.
That actually would have been pretty damn funny.
That would have been
But
pretty
only
good.
like the 7 people that would get it.
I don't care.
By the way, this is the Puff Daddy song.
Yeah, I've already turned the volume down all the way I can on the DVD. Okay, I'm kidding. I've got it down to 40%.
No, it's fine. I just why the whole soundtrack was stupid, and then they put this. I mean, this isn't even good, but it's like it's better than it's better than just a badly done remix of the Jurassic Park soundtrack. Like they picked they hired a soundtrack composer off of Fiverr for like the cheapest they could find, and the description was like, "Have you heard of John Williams? Do that." Yeah, okay, boss. And they wrote a soundtrack, and then they filmed the whole movie, and just there was a soundtrack.
I mean, he did better than like Cliff Eidelman for Star Trek 6.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's not that Cliff Eidelman did a bad job. It's just he wrote 2 themes and like, well, my job here is done.
That's kind of true.
Seriously, there's there's only like 2 themes that he wrote for that entire movie.
That's kind of true. I mean, I don't know though. I think I kind of like that one better, if only because the main title for that movie stand out, and nothing in this.
6?
Yeah, to Star Trek 6.
Yeah, but the main title is da 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 da.
And then the rhythm from Mars, yeah. But like,
and then what's the part where they're like searching the ship?
Yeah.
What's the part where they have the battle?
Yeah.
What's the part where they're like getting on Kronos?
Okay. Okay. Counterpoint.
Yes.
Hum one of the themes from this movie.
I get it.
Yeah. But that's Led Zeppelin and it's Puff Daddy, and you don't hear it till the ending credits, and so it didn't matter any time during the movie at all.
There was the one scene on the subway where you can kind of hear it on the background.
Yes. But like even right now, like I remember like saying, "Oh yeah, that reminds me of Jurassic Park," but I couldn't hum a single damn melody from anything in this whole movie until this, which is just Puff Daddy stealing Led Zeppelin and rapping over it. Which also I like bought the soundtrack and listened to, and don't remember any of the other tracks on the soundtrack. So I was already prepped to remember this one. Like, sure, there was probably more original writing in the soundtrack, but I've already forgotten all of it.
Sorry,
No, exactly. But that just proves the point.
I get your point. That
I didn't even argue with your point.
Yeah,
or anyone's point, because when you guys just start talking about music, I'm just like, I wonder what's going on over here somewhere else.
Yeah, And that's how I felt this whole movie about the music.
Okay. I know I saw this movie and I know what they were going for. It's just
It was an experiment, I think. I think it was like, can we tell the Godzilla story in a 90s action American movie style? And the answer, it turns out, was absolutely not.
it's like I know what what they were trying to go for, and they didn't pull off Jurassic Park. They didn't pull off Independence Day.
Definitely didn't pull off Godzilla.
And yeah,
Yeah, actually,
even the monster stuff.
this movie would have been better if they didn't try to say Godzilla.
Yeah, absolutely. If it had just been
And
like,
that's
That's
why he got the name Gino for a while. Gino, Godzilla in name only.
that would have been a better name.
That
than
was
Zilla,
the fan
actually.
name for this creature. That was the fan name for this creature until he got an official name in 2004.
Yeah, I think that would have been better than Zilla, if I'm honest. I really do.
It's still listed in some places as this creature's name.
Man, what a shit show. Oh, here's another song that you only hear in the credits.
I'm done.
Is this We Can Be Heroes? It is. God damn it. Yeah, this sucked.
There's no heroes in this movie.
There are no heroes.
It really isn't.
But actually, now that we're thinking about it, this has to be the first Godzilla movie where the military actually did something useful.
That's kind of true. Okay, so who do you think were like the most competent characters in this movie?
I mean, he had a lot of shit going wrong, and he was not really likable as a character, but Mathew Broderick really did make things happen.
He made things happen.
Like he had the idea to draw out Godzilla with the fish.
Yeah.
He knew that the nest thing was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
And then he totally did the thing we all would do where we feel like everything in our life is destroyed, so we say F it and we just go there.
True.
Stopped a bunch of baby lizards with balls.
True.
Had the best ball maneuver of the entire movie.
I mean, that counts for something. You gotta have good ball maneuver.
Yeah.
You do.
It's totally top-notch ball movement.
So, do you think between him and Jean Reno, because Jean Reno sort of engineered everything behind the scenes, who do you think was more like had their together better? Well, Mathew Broderick didn't.
I just gotta say this straight up. I don't come into a Godzilla movie looking for character development or character studies or any of that.
I'm trying to find something positive.
I have something positive.
What's that?
Because this... Oh, hey, Barney footage courtesy of... Okay. Because this movie happened and was so hated, it led to Toho rebooting the franchise, and my favorite movie is in that reboot.
Oh, okay. So it's the yang that inspired quite a ying.
Yes. My ying. Maybe not the ying. Because I still feel as there's better ones, but I like this one best.
Is it your future ying?
Well, perhaps it just remains to be seen on another edition of the 4-Drink Minimum with Highway 47 Productions, for which we will see you when the time comes.
That would have been a great segue if the movie was actually finally over.
It's basically pretty much over. I'm just,
Yeah. See, but now that the DVD is taking us back to the menu, we can be like, good night, everybody.
And then we can just Dracofunk, copy and paste what I just said and put it here again.
Not the inspirational stuff, just what I just said from his previous statement.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.